good news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
Oh my god. Bonuses. +1 pain threshold. Blood oxygen is boring. All psyche learning caps raised by 1. Awesome.
This door has been closed with a padlock. The chalk, what are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
The lieutenant points to the corroded loop with a glove finger.
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
These chain cutters are broken, I think, Kim.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
After you, Detective.
We don't have a warrant for this room, but yeah, let's go. He totally just backed me up on the B&E. Flamboyant poster of a white star. Real lithography.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads, Kraz Mazov.
Kim, who is Kraz Mazov?
He's known as the father of scientific communism.
Communist!
Also known as Mazovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution.
Why does the tenant have a bust of Kraz Mazov in their bedroom?
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
Okay. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Revolutionaries love to pose with guns. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. 9mm bullet. And a lounge jacket. +1 to conceptualization. How funny would it be to run into the person who owns this room while wearing their jacket?
That isn't just a 5-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The iconography of communism, in other words.
Look out, Kim. There's communists around.
I'll keep my armistice handy, Detective.
He doesn't actually reach for his gun.
Inspect the symbol closer.
The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mazov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
What's the deal with the antlers?
The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it.
Why white?
Because white is the color of peace.
Why is the star upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it.
What does it evoke in me?
Nothing at all yet. Right now, it's just meaningless shapes on a wall.
I feel nothing. The box is filled with cleaning chemicals, smells of laundry detergent. -1 authority, +1 logic. Flip up glasses. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. Does this go down to the backyard? Yes, okay. So that path is open now. money. Just a door, nothing here for you now. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and a cactus.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening.
He looks around, taking in the cold spring air.
We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
What do you mean?
The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right? He might know something about the murder. So tomorrow 9 p.m.?
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory.
Sounds good.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good. Let's
He
go.
writes it down in his little
Damn.
notebook.
Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get hit. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today.
Door to 29. Complete silence. Whoever lives there isn't home. Door to 30. Voices from within, singing along to some buoyant dance track. The breaker box is full of cigarette butts and electric wires. Okay. An old shoe rack, boots, sneakers, and leather slippers. Apartment 12, loud rumbling snore comes from within. These shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Where is this? Oh, it's the paint lady.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
That's right. We've evolved.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
She crosses her arms.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Is that heavy fuel oil?
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
He says, studying the contents of Cindy's bucket.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
You better hand that over.
Oh, what? You'll push me off this ledge and pry the bucket from my dead hands?
There's no option. I'm such a terrible cop. There's no option. You're under arrest. You just admitted to stealing from a cop. Bye, Sandy. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Enough coal to last several winters. Smells of chemicals. Laborer genes? +1 electrochemistry, -1 reaction speed. Sure.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something. Soft, yet crinkly.
Take him out.
Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar.
A gleaming chewing gum wrapper found in the pocket of laborer jeans. It gives off an ever so faint scent of apricots. Your mouth starts watering.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
Why do I even care about this?
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with a Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please.
I'll hang on to it just in case.
You carefully fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even, despite the strange feeling of regret.
Kim's just watching all this like, what the hell? Wasn't Tutti Frutti an actual gum name? I think it was. If so, kind of odd that they used a real-world name for that. Whoa, $2. Nice. Above, tarps flap in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails rust. The door is locked. You can't get in. Yep, it was. That's what I thought. A note reads, foreclosed by Partenay's Realty Associates. The sea below looks cold and winter gray. Someone has torn down the wall. Money and Nosafed. A grocery list is on the table and checks.
What happened here?
This looks so sad.
Put your emotions aside.
Oh no, I hurt
Try
myself.
to focus on abstract, impersonal
Crap.
things.
It's like playing the Vampire Coast again. I just like killed myself with sadness.
But this reeks of sadness.
You can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here.
There's always something in the fridge.
Indeed.
Okay. Alright, I don't see anything else to do in here. Besides come back tomorrow at 9 o'clock and talk to the dude. Looks like there was more construction here once, decades ago. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A. Your room in the Whirling isn't much better than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
$2? You mean 2 reals, aka 40 cents? Look, all I know is I owe like 120 reals debt since the start of the game. I just found 2 of them. That's huge.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds her hand out over the railing. Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Yes, ma'am. Someday soon, I will recover from being very stupid.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
What? You seem rich. Can I have money? No. No. What can you tell me about the lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Let's skip the part where we tell her we did it drinking. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Suggestion. How do I negotiate my way out of this? 92%.
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
Hold on. I think Boy's about to come in. Come on. Jack, give me just a moment. I'm going to tell the boy goodnight, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Continue.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madame.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
The lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really? I thought it was going well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
We could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it.
I'm sure you will, Detective.
Let's get back to it then.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isla into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
It's a Breaking Bad over here. And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
What is a lorry? I get that she's referencing a vehicle, but I don't even know if it's a boat or a car or what.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way,
It's a
but
truck.
one step ahead
Okay.
of the Union in another.
Why didn't you come to RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
How do you think they're financing this strike?
Oh, I hit the wrong
There
button.
are thousands of unpaid dock workers going
All right, so-
strong for the 4th month straight.
I hit what proof do you have the union's involved?
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
She pauses, looking into the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
She looks north.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Okay. I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation. Proceed.
Yes?
Alright, we'll take the case, probe the drivers, and see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Wait, what? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason. Now
So?
look at you. You misery-clad simian.
Simeon?
Barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
What is this feeling? I've never felt it before.
Shame? You haven't really been in the presence of gentlefolk either, have you? What shame is there to be felt in front of these dock workers, cops, and hotel clerks, but to belittle yourself in these eyes of Odinin? Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
42%. Can I have money? No. This seems like a game where you will be, there are consequences. I'm not gonna push that. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
Alright, what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
She enjoys talking about the company. It would not hurt to inquire more.
How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Every time she says the Pines, I think of Mabel and Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls, and I just keep imagining them, like, bossing people around and stuff.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system